Welcome to this week Beanie and the Boom podcast, where I'm missing my partner in crime today, Beanie and Wells, but I got my boy here today with me, Christian Bryant.
Hey,
CB, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Boom? You know, excited to be on the show today, man.
Second time.
Second time.
Second time.
On the show. Look, thank you, Beanie, for missing the day. Look, I will for surely fulfill your seat the proper way, my man.
Yeah, man. What's going on, though, man? How you feeling, man? What's new? I mean, obviously, you've been on here before, so you kind of know what's going on. But, give us a little update with what you got going on.
Yeah, you know, right now, man, I got my beautiful daughter in the building, man, the newest addition to the Bryant family, the legacy, you know.
Congratulations.
Bryant. Thank you. You know, just playing the dad role today, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to win dad of the year, man. So
this is not the first time we had daddy daycare here today, man.
Yeah,
you know, Beanie has had his boys in here, and some of our other guests have had their kids with them. So we happy to have you and your daughter today, man. Kind of just well, you know what? Let me ask you this, man. So, are you a guy that likes to win money, right?
Yeah, of course. I like to win money.
So you like to gamble a little bit, right? Here and there.
I gamble with my friends, closest friends, you know. I can say that much, I guess.
So look, man, I'm going to need you to start going on betdsi.com, where you can go in there and bet on all the games you want to bet. All you got to do is use the promo code Beanie100, and you can make it happen. And they pay fast, bro. I'm talking about super fast.
Okay, betDSI. Okay, I'll put that on my radar.
The betDSI. Beanie100 is a promo code. If you're out there and you want to bet on any games, college, pro, that is the place to go. Bet DSI. You use the promo code Beanie100, and trust me, people, you get your money fast. I've been winning. I've been playing. He gonna start betting, and he gonna win some money. So we good.
Look, if Boom is gonna win $10,000 plus, you guys know that this is definitely the gambling site that you guys need to be a part of if he talking big money like this. So go ahead, check it out.
Yeah, for sure. So man, you know, obviously, you play here at Ohio State, man, and they made some big time changes, and we rolling right now.
Yes,
Coach Day got the boys playing great. We got a big game on the road tomorrow night against Northwestern. Just kind of give me some of your thoughts of how the team's playing, you know, so far this year, and what you think of Coach Day in his first year. And you know, we got a new defensive coordinator. Basically almost a whole new defensive staff.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on the team and the coaching staff.
You know, the funny thing about Coach Day is everyone prior to the season had questions on his toughness as a coach, but me personally, I feel like toughness as a coach is showing that you can fulfill big shoes coming after Urban Meyer, and still getting the job done. You know, Coach Day has obviously been prepped the correct way. You know, as a coach with his with his past coaching buddies and things like that. So Coach Day, to me, has done a wonderful job, especially with the foundation laid is still there with, you know, Coach Mick, Stamp, Volt, you know, Mark Pantoni. So it's still kind of the building blocks still there, and Coach Day has done a wonderful job fulfilling those shoes. He has a team rolling right now. The offense is looking more dynamic than ever to me right now, but it's not really anything new. You know, they continue to recycle players each and every year, and right now the talent on Ohio State is going crazy. You know, from top to bottom, from the O-line to the receivers, and you know, of course, JK and you know, the new QBs doing a wonderful job. You know, stepping into that role as the quarterback one, and you know, just doing promising things. He has a big future ahead of him, and I'm glad he came to Ohio State. But on the other side of the ball, man, this is probably one of the best defensive, you know, execution as far as scheme-wise that I've seen Ohio State fulfill right now. I think that they become a little bit more simpler in their schemes. Mm-hmm. You know, they don't have the players thinking as much out there. It's more instinctual play to me, in my my assumptions as just watching the games and whatnot. But I think guys are making plays on the ball. They're turning the ball over, which is substantial in a football game. If you win a turnover battle, I think your odds on winning that game is like close to 85% of the time. So, and those are numbers that coaches tell us about before the games. If you win a turnover battle, our chances of winning this football game are much higher. So, going into tomorrow night, I don't think it's much for us to worry about. Northwestern, obviously, they play hard, they try hard, but again, that's nothing really that can, stop us.
Yeah, I mean,
for us to be reckoned with.
You brought up the Northwestern game, who we play tomorrow night. I feel the same way. I mean, obviously, in the back of my head, it's always, these type of games that I'm in the back of my head, I'm a little nervous about, because it's always like, can this be like one of those games where we, Purdue, last year, or or shoot, when I was in school, I think we lost to Purdue 2 times, or even like a who else did we lose to? Like but I mean, you know what I'm saying when it comes to like one of these games. I mean, this could be one of those Friday nights away game playing on somebody else's turf where it's like, okay, we rolling high right now, and this team, obviously, we're Ohio State, so everybody has a circle on their schedule, and they think that's like their national championship,
right, exactly.
So it's like it makes me a little nervous, but I'm pretty confident that we're gonna be good tomorrow night, and we should win the game.
Yeah, and Northwestern fans and Northwestern guys, whoever listen to this, they be watering their field down when speed, when speed comes up north, man. So we gotta.
You had that happen?
Yeah, man. Of course, when we, teams try to let their grass grow substantially high when they know a lot of 4-4, 4-3 guys is coming to the stadium, man, so they can kind of slow them down, get their feet, not planting their cleats into the ground and things like that, man. So I feel like as a player tomorrow, State, we better bring them 3/4 inch cleats out tomorrow, man. It's gonna be a muddy one.
So you think they need the actual long cleat?
Yeah, we need the actual long cleat so we can stick our feet in the ground and go. That's what we need.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Shout out, we gotta call Kev, EQ. Ohio State head guy Kev. Shout out to you, baby. Let's get it to him.
I know you were speaking on the defense. I mean, obviously you played on the defense side of the ball. I mean, what do you think it is that Greg Madison has done that's made the big difference from last year's defense to this year's defense? Because, obviously, we playing lights out. And as you know, the secondary and linebacker core we struggled a lot last year.
Yeah.
And, in my opinion, I think is they're just kind of letting the guys play fast now. They're not throwing a whole bunch of different schemes around. They're not throwing a whole bunch of different stuff where guys are thinking. But now it seems like they're just out there playing fast, and it's simple. It's simple football.
Yeah, well, to me, also credit goes out to the guys that's actually playing the game. These guys are a year older now. They're more embedded in what they believe in. The coaches are giving them a plan, and they're obviously seeing positive results from what they're being coached. So I always say, no matter how you take a coach's actual teaching style, it may be, you may look at it and say, man, I don't want to do it this way. But as a player, me speaking on obviously experience, when you see positive results from a coaching's teaching style or whatnot, if you see positive results as an individual, as a player, and you see yourself progressing and not going back, taking steps backwards, you're always going to, follow suit in that direction. And, the guys on the defense right now, I feel like everybody is coming into their own. Everybody is coming into as a group, family-oriented type group, and everyone out there seems to believe in one another also, because, as a defense, communication is everything. So,
right.
If I got a guy standing next to me and I know for a fact that he doesn't know what he's doing on this play, of course I'm not going to want him out there with me. And the vibe that I'm getting from the defense right now is everyone believes that the guy standing next to him is capable of making a big play. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you had Paul Haynes as your defensive back coach. when you
Yeah,
was
I
in
had
school?
coach. Well, actually, so my story in the coming into Ohio State, I was recruited as a cornerback.
Right.
So Coach Tave Johnson, he recruited me here. And
Taylor
also, yeah,
Johnson.
Coach Tave. Shout out to my guy with the Oakland Raiders now. But you know, he kind of brought me in as a corner. So my whole mindset at that point in time when I first came in was to play corner. And then as we got later on in the camp, I don't know what the kind of talks that me and him had were you're playing really physical at the cornerback position right now, and we need you to move to the safety room. And Coach Haynes didn't recruit me. Obviously, we had a good relationship because he was the safeties coach, which is right next door to the corners room. But I didn't know what to expect because I never got coached by him, or I didn't know him like super personal like that. So I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that I had Jamel Hines, a former Glenville alumni, in that room too. So I had guidance in that room, but I was kind of upset about having to switch positions and play nickel and safety my freshman year. But Coach Haynes, he took me in with open arms, man. He got me prepared to play like 2 weeks after I moved to that room against Illinois, and that was my first time playing in a big game at Ohio State. And his coaching methods were a little bit different than Coach Tave's. Coach Tave was the type of guy who, he was hands on with you. He wanted to know what type of person you were, and then he would kind of go off of your ability from there, what you're capable of doing on the football field. And then Coach Haynes, he was more of a thinking type of coach to me. He was more X's and O's, strategically thinking, but also he instilled that football knowledge and education in me as a safety. When I switched positions, he kind of showed me to read the defense and what was going on with the defensive line up front with the stunts and the linebacker movement and safety fits and things like that. So it kind of advanced me to that next stage of football in my career that, okay, now I'm getting that confidence is become easier, more simple for me each and every day with this guy, Coach Haynes, coaching me, because he was more of a, like I said, strategic and X's and O's type of coach where he actually sat you down and taught you the game of football and keeping leverage on the defense and things like that. Just a lot of kudos to Coach Haynes, man. He did a lot for me at Ohio State early on in my career for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you also had the opportunity to play for Tress and Coach Urban Meyer, man. I mean, though, in my eyes, I never had the opportunity to play for Urban, but they just seemed like they're two totally different guys.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about your time with Tress and then your time with Urban. What was like the big difference, and who would you rather play? I mean, who did you enjoy playing for more?
I actually literally just heard Coach Zach Smith speaking on this on his podcast recently. He spoke on the Coach Tress to Coach Meyer transition, and it was when Coach Meyer came in, it was the year before that we went, what was it, like 6 and
So my last year?
Yeah.
Why you gotta bring up all this
That's
stuff?
what I said. Look, we had a horrible year. I mean, obviously everyone knows it was because of the NCAA doing malicious things and taking away football from guys like yourself, DeVere Posey, Solomon Thomas, Terrell Pryor, things like that. They wanted to, I feel like,
in our careers.
Yeah, exactly. Look, make their presence be felt for sure. But we had a rough year that year just because of that. Just it wasn't really a internal type of deal to me. But when Coach Meyer and the gang came over, it was kind of hard to switch our perspective and our way of thinking as to just buy into Coach Meyer and what he has to say, because like Coach Smith said, and this is my point of view also, it's hard to kind of transition guys in your program coming from a winning program, and Coach Meyer is also coming with a winning background to this winning program. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard for guys to look and follow suit to a guy who has a winning background, obviously, but in prior years, Ohio State, we had great years prior to Coach Tress's demise at Ohio State. But Coach Tress was just a guy who had those personal relationships with guys right off the bat. He's one of those guys who, he'll remember anything that you tell him. He'll remember anybody in your family who he meets. He's a genuine, loving grandparent away from home. Right. Seriously, he loves you to death, and he'll tell you when you're wrong. He'll tell you, he knows when to praise you and things like that. But I feel like Tress got a bad stigma because he was more of that player type of relationship type of coach, because people couldn't understand how can a head coach have this loving relationship with his players, how he kind of fell on the sword with the ordeal that happened prior to him leaving Ohio State. He went to bat for, some guys, quote unquote, but like that is just something that a lot of head coaches in the country just don't do. You can talk to a multitude of players from different colleges and ask them, how was your experience with your head coach? Like, man, I hated that dude. Like, bro, he didn't do anything for us. Like, boom, boom. Like, it's a complete negative experience for those guys. That's why
you got mad love for both coaches.
Mad love for both of them, man. Coach Meyer, he held it down on my end. And again, I was an older guy when Coach Meyer came in, so it was kind of a different perspective that I was looking at him with. And like I said before, he came in with a plan, and it took guys a little bit of time to fall into, or to really understand and to really take heed to his plan. But like I said before, we seen results from what he came in and did. And if you see results as a player, hey, that's what you want to do.
Right. How would you see yourself fitting in with Ryan? Like, say if you had to be on Ryan Day's team right now, how would you see yourself fitting in?
It depends on what year we talking.
This year? What you mean?
No, I'm saying depends on what year I am in school. If I'm a freshman or if I'm a senior, bro. Those transitions, or those particular years, are completely different. Like freshman to a senior, because senior year you already really have a foundation laid. You know what I'm saying? And as a freshman, you trying to understand all this chaos that's going on around you, from class, from tutors to practice to extra meetings.
People don't understand the schedule of a
student or a
student
football,
athlete,
really a
student
football
athlete.
player, because we can't really speak on any
All the
other
other sports.
athletes, because we don't know what they have going on, but we just know what we endured, from being in that environment. But I mean, it's all love from my perspective, for both guys, Coach Tress and Coach Meyer, man. Love both guys dearly, for sure. They did a lot for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. So looking on the rest of this year, man. I mean, me and Beanie kind of he thought I was crazy when I was saying this, but from the jump, I said, I think Ohio State was going undefeated. I felt like we were running the table in the Big Ten. I felt like we should get to the playoffs this year. I think we could do our job in the playoffs and we can get to the national championship. That was my opinion. Everybody was looking at me crazy.
What were they saying? What was so bad about that?
We got you know what it was? We got a new quarterback. We got a new head coach. Everything's kind of new, so they didn't have the feel. But I just felt like I seen what Coach Day did. His first 3 games. It was last year, and I seen how the team was playing. So I'm like, man, if he do what he was doing the first 3 games last year, and he has all this talent and he puts it all together. I think we should run the table.
Yeah.
And that I feel like and I still feel the same way. I feel like, the team is getting better every week. I feel like the defense has grown into something great. They playing fast, playing good, making plays. They're one of the top ranked defense, in college football. I think it's all good. I mean, in your opinion, do you see us still going, undefeated, and who is a team that you're kind of worried about, us playing this year?
Well, first of all, I kind of had the same perspective that you had even before the season, just looking at our schedule prior to the season even started. I mean, to me, it's a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Especially with the talent that we have.
I ain't gonna call it a cakewalk, but
hey,
we still gotta play. Hey, we still gotta play Penn State, who's rolling good.
Yeah,
we still gotta play Wisconsin.
We play both of those teams at home, right?
Still,
or do we play Penn State at home?
We lost to Penn State at home before.
Yeah, true enough. And Penn State is one of those teams that you never know what Penn State you're gonna get, especially. But like you said earlier on in the show, everybody gonna bring their A game against Ohio State. But the thing that we have actually right now, to me, is it just seems like the players have bought in to Coach Day. It seemed to me having conversations with guys on the team right now, actually, they love him. Like, they love Coach Day for what type of person he is, and what type of coach he is. He seems like a guy who's non-confrontational, and as a young player, those are the type of coaches sometimes that people gravitate towards because they don't like that friction. They don't like that, guys getting on them like that, especially this day and age. It's a new generation. So again, you have to, as a coach, you have to see what type of players and what type of personalities that you have residing on the team and kind of go from there, especially like, this day and age, it's guys 18, 19 years old on that team right now. They're a lot different from me and you when we were, coming up, just with, social media, just what everyone knows of today's day and age and young people.
Yes, I mean, social media can either hurt you or in your career,
for sure. Look, you just said a double negative.
I sure did. You know what I meant?
Yeah, for sure. But
you know what I meant.
But
it can help your career or in your career.
Exactly. But guys just they just seem to me like they've bought into what Coach Day is telling them in the locker room, in team meetings, and just his approach to how he wants to orchestrate the team. And from a guy who has such a dynamic offensive mind, and just putting guys in position, especially as coaches also, because we have different coaches on the coaching staff who also can expand on that and, kind of help Coach Day embrace the position that he's in, and help him flourish with the team. And I feel like right now, I don't see us losing the game, and shoot, I'll say that for the rest of the season. Like I've been saying.
I feel you. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I feel like we should run the table the rest of the year. I think. I mean, Wisconsin is playing great.
Wisconsin, but that's the thing about Wisconsin. Wisconsin is, they're one trick pony. Always.
Everybody know they can run the ball.
Run the ball.
Yeah. And I feel like we got what it takes to stop that.
To stop, bro. We got so many athletes.
But I don't know if you've seen. I think they had like 4 shutouts this year.
Their defense is definitely like top 10 in the country.
I don't know who they've really played, but that's impressive to have 4 shutouts, in the season.
Yeah, but what are we averaging on offense? Like 30-something points, something like that. 30-something points a game, I think. Something crazy.
Look, man, it doesn't matter. We doing it. We getting the job done.
Facts.
With Justin Fields and J.K. Dobbins doing their job.
I'm not gonna lie, man. The offense, bro, as a team overall, we playing lights out.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you got little small tweaks here and there each week that you have to improve on, of course, but as an overall team and, our play so far throughout the season, we haven't took a drop.
Yeah.
To me, we've actually risen to the occasion.
Everybody talks about the offense and the defense. I remember Tress. I know you remember where Tress used to say the most important playing football is what.
Special team.
But what was it though?
What, punt?
Yes.
Indeed.
But it's just crazy to me because, our offense is playing good, our defense is playing good. But you got to look at our special teams too. I think we got like two or three block punts, a couple block field goals. I mean, I think it takes all three stages of football for us to be playing how we're playing, and for us to go undefeated, and for us to go into the playoffs and get the respect, and then have the chance to play for the national championship. I think that's what that team is doing right now.
Yeah, we always kind of mix it up with little exotic block punts and things like that. We like to bring some pressure in that regards because we got so much speed out there. We got to use it somehow.
Yeah, give me your favorite player on both sides of the ball right now.
I can't really say.
Or who's a guy that's standing out, and who's that guy that I think people were sleeping on that's actually kind of balling now.
Man, you got a couple guys honestly who kind of like.
I mean, obviously we know on defense, you got Chase Young who's playing lights out this year.
Oh yeah, I mean that's no question.
Yeah,
like he was
dude, the animal.
Like everyone knew that, so that wasn't a surprise. But to me, I feel like Wentz is playing a lot better.
Wentz,
20.
Yeah,
he's playing.
He's definitely playing a lot better.
It's just like he's got more confidence this year, and he's flying around more because he's not thinking as much, and he seems like he has a grasp on different checks and things like that. Especially playing linebacker, you have to be able to communicate, to the defensive backs and to the defensive line. But I don't know, man. To me, the secondary is. I mean, I could be biased, but they've been playing good.
Oh, I thought you were about to say that we got the best secondary in college football right now.
You can quote me. What you mean? Indeed, we definitely have the best defensive back group in the country. BIA, best in America. DBU, for sure.
Yeah.
This is the real DBU. You know what I'm saying? We got the resume. We still got the guys in the NFL. We got the most first rounders, secondary. In the position. And we also have future first rounders on the field this year. Yeah. So, but on offense, I feel like the receiving core is playing a lot better as a group. Mm-hmm. Last year it was this guy this week, this guy this week, this guy this week. It wasn't as a collective unit each week in and each week out. You know what I'm saying? So that group right there, Brian Hartline, he's done a terrific job stepping in and filling those shoes of zone 6. And those guys obviously is buying into what he's saying in the meeting rooms too. And he has a great resume behind him. Former Ohio State athlete or football player, former NFL player.
Yeah. I mean, that's easy for a college athlete or football player to want to relate to a guy who's walked those shoes.
Man, it's a lot easier.
Done it, who's had the opportunity. So I think it's a plus for us to have him on our coaching staff and also have him as one of our top recruits. Because I think he's top 5 recruiter in college football right now. I think he might be top 2 or something like that.
Yeah, they love him. Top 2, but I'm not 2.
You crazy? That's crazy. I mean, speaking on college football. Period, man. We got a guy that used to be here, Joe Burrow, who's leading LSU to a great thing right now. I mean, he got those guys playing great, and he's a guy who transferred from here. But I guess I would just ask you a question. If he was still here, you have him and Justin Fields both still here. Who are you starting at quarterback?
You gotta go Burrows. You have to. To me, in my perspective, just for the simple fact, obviously they seem, well, I don't know, actually thinking back, man, but I mean, it's a toss up either way. But to me, you go Burrows just through experience, I guess.
He ain't get, what you mean? He
Experience as far as experience in that offensive system.
Man,
because this
listen
would be what, his 4th year.
no,
This would be his 4th year.
no, it wouldn't.
Well, 3rd or 4th year.
Last year was his first year starting at
No.
LSU.
I mean, like he got to be like a junior or
Oh,
a
yeah,
senior,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So like, if he was still at O State, it'd be like his 3rd or 4th year in that Ohio State system with the same coaches, with the same players.
So you saying if we got both of these dudes, Joe Burrow and Justin Fields, both on the team right now, which is we know Justin Fields is our starting quarterback. If we got both of them, you're gonna start Burrows over Fields.
Bro, we gotta start Burrows. You have to think like Justin Fields.
I don't know, man.
I'm saying, like, looking at it as a whole. You gotta look at it as a whole. You gotta think we got a brand new transfer coming in. I'm saying off the bat, I'm starting Burrows because
I see what you're
Justin
saying.
Fields. I mean,
see what you're saying. I see
he
what you're
wouldn't
saying.
he wouldn't have proven anything at that time.
I see what
So
you're saying.
he would have just had to outshine Joe Burrows and take his spot if that was the case.
Well, speaking of Burrows, I mean, he's one of the top candidates for the Heisman. I mean, who else do you see? I guess.
And that's crazy right there just to think about. My bad to cut you off, but that's crazy to think about. Burrows is up for the Heisman if he wins the Heisman and if he goes first round. Just think about this.
That's just like your boy from Cleveland right now, though. He transferred to Oklahoma.
No, but what I'm saying is how, last year Dwayne Haskins, right?
Right.
Burrows couldn't beat Haskins out, right?
Correct.
So he had to transfer.
Mm-hmm. So if you had all three, if you had all three here right now, Haskins, Burrows, Fields, who you gonna start?
Looking at the resume that all of them has put out so far, I can't call it, man.
Man, what?
Man,
You gotta call it. You on the spot
I
now.
don't want to make nobody. No, I'm just talking. But I don't know, man. I like the way Justin Fields is playing. Honestly, I like the way that he's taking control.
But you just said you would start Burrows over him right now.
I was saying that just because of you had to look at it in as retrospectively, man. Like if Joe Burrows is at Ohio State for 4 straight years, he's been sitting behind 2 guys, and you got a redshirt freshman transferring in to Ohio State, hasn't played it down in college football, but this is his first time. Well, I mean, he played probably in blowout games, whatever.
Okay, all right.
But he's coming into this brand new, fresh system that he's trying to get a grasp upon.
I get what you're saying.
Exactly,
Right.
bro. But
So-
like I said, I like the way that Justin Fields is playing right now. He's doing an incredible job taking control of the offense, man, and I just hope he keep it up.
Do you think he should be in the talks for the Heisman?
Yeah, I guess.
What you mean you guess?
I like JK. I like JK to be in the talks for the Heisman, to be honest. The way that he's been dominating college football since the season started.
So give me your 4 guys. If you had to pick 4 right now.
In the Heisman race,
You ain't got to put them in order. Just give me 4 guys.
JK Dobbins.
Wow. Okay. 3. You got 3 more.
Justin Fields, Chase Young.
Hey,
I would
Chase
name
Young.
everybody that go to Ohio State. Everybody that's dominating at Ohio State right now, put them in the Heisman
Hey,
race.
I like it.
For sure.
I like it. I like it.
We talk about potential first round candidates right here, man.
Yeah. Man, so I don't know if you seen where the XFL just had a draft.
Yeah, I seen that. I got a couple guys that.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
We got a lot of Buckeyes who actually Cordell been one of the guys. I actually talked to him this morning, a couple of days ago. And he's out there in DC.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on the whole XFL thing? And I mean, now, are you done playing? So if the XFL called you right now, and say, we want to give you a 3-year contract to come play right now.
I don't really want to speak on my. I don't really want to speak on my situation with football. But,
Okay.
To me, seeing guys get drafted into the XFL, to me, it's gonna be a good opportunity for those guys to showcase their abilities.
Yeah.
Obviously put some film back on tape, so for some NFL teams to see, because obviously people are doing it to advance their career back into the NFL. And it's gonna be televised, so it's gonna be a lot of national media covering the XFL. So the opportunities that the guys that are playing in that league are gonna be endless. It's still it's gonna be some politics in it, obviously, because it's ultimately a business as well as the NFL or whatever corporation that we're speaking about or organization. But for those guys just to get themselves back out there, and for those 32 NFL teams to see what they can do on the football field and see if they can contribute to an NFL roster next year is, to me, substantial, especially if guys are still wanting to further their career and advance it.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope that it holds up. I mean,
that's the only thing.
We've seen a couple leagues who started up and then they ended because money issues. I don't think they'll have too many issues with the XFL. I mean, it's something that's been around before.
The thing about the XFL that's different is you have a lot of football guys actually running this league.
Yeah.
With the Alliance of America league, it wasn't football guys.
Yeah.
I guess at the top totem pole.
Yeah.
In that league, it was just business guys, kind of just seeing a business opportunity and ultimately pulling their funding from that league when they didn't see things fit in the proper ways that they seen it. But that's, to me, going to be the biggest difference is you have NFL execs and actually former NFL players running that league.
Yeah.
So that's substantial to me.
Yeah, it's funny. Cordell, he had sent me a message the other day. It was telling me that Pep Hamilton is his head coach. Pep was my offensive coordinator when I played for the Colts. And I don't know if you know this, Pep was Michigan's offensive coordinator last year.
So what's your thoughts on him?
Pep cool.
Okay.
He cool. He was when we was at the Colts together, he was Andrew Luck's offensive coordinator when he was in Stanford. So they had a relationship. But Pep is cool. He's creative. He's a person that think, everything should work. There's not a play that he can run that shouldn't work.
Okay.
So he's creative, and I'm sure he's gonna do a good job. He's the head coach now, so I think that's gonna be a new thing for him. But
a guy with like Cardell behind the helm, hey, they should maybe
man,
win a lot of football games.
Yeah, switching over to the NFL, man. You talk about, you're a Browns fan, right?
I guess. My loyalty lies, I guess, in Cleveland somewhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really have a favorite NFL team, to be honest.
See,
I like
it's kind of because you played in the
exactly,
NFL,
so we have different.
So once you're done playing, it's like, all right, I don't really got a team. I just rock with my guys.
That's exactly how
I got players. So
exactly.
But it's the home team.
It's the home team for sure. So I want to see them do.
So you gonna root for them.
Yeah, I want to.
What's up with the Browns, man? Why they struggling so bad?
To me, it's the complete opposite of what I said with Coach Day. The team right now, to me, it doesn't seem like they're buying into what the coaches have to say. That, like, those type of issues and problems are evident, especially as a former player, and you're watching it from outside looking in, especially on Sundays, guys playing and running around. You can tell when a guy is locked all the way into what he believes on that field, just through his effort, through his relentlessness. Man, tongue twister, going crazy. But just the guys right now for the Browns, it just, to me, it doesn't seem like everyone trusts each other. Yeah. Obviously, it seems like it's just friction going on somewhere, somehow. I couldn't tell you because I'm not inserted in that organization, but I don't know, man. I just know that they got a lot of unhappy customers in Cleveland right now.
Yeah.
Just as being from people being fans out there and a lot of hype going into the season, but I mean, it's still time for them to turn it around.
They got time to turn it around, and I look at it like this. You get a lot of guys who haven't really played together. So it's gonna take time for that to mold. It's gonna take time for guys to get the chemistry down together. It's gonna take time for the whole thing to even work. You know, it ain't just gonna work like that because you got all these guys. I mean,
but then you gotta look back on what was their off season look like. You know,
they brought in a whole bunch of guys.
But what I'm saying is,
what did they do during the time?
The time that they had together. Like,
you know how it is, though.
I know how it is.
They might not start gelling.
I play defense, though.
Yeah, they might not start gelling. I was going to say to the playoffs, but they might not even have a chance to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, to me, they also have a lot of guys injured, especially in the secondary. Even though yet and still the secondary played well without Denzel and the new former first rounder Williams. Greedy Williams.
They need them though.
They definitely need them. If they want big plays out there on the field, they need those guys to get their bodies right and come back 100% if they really want to get far in the playoffs, because playoffs come. It's a different build that you need out there.
Right.
You know?
Speaking of big plays, I mean big time players and making big plays. I know you probably seen Jalen Ramsey get traded from the Jaguars to the Rams.
I definitely seen that.
I mean that's I mean I think both teams kind of won because the Ravens get, what's the kid's name? The corner.
Peters.
They get Peters.
He went to Oakland, I thought.
No.
He went to the Ravens?
He went to the Ravens. That's nice. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like the Jags get a bunch of like first round picks, and then the Rams get Ramsey. I mean, that's if I look at it, I mean, everybody won equally.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, the Rams won, but they also just, you gotta. Their defense was kind of their issue, but their immediate issue is their offensive line right now, to me. And, sending away 2 years' worth of first-round picks in the third round, I think.
That do sound crazy.
They don't, like, where are you going to find these guys to fulfill these needs on the offensive line? Are you going to go out and trade for them? Are you going to go out and get them in free agency this upcoming season? But where is that money going to come from? Because they're going to pay Jalen Ramsey whatever he want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. To me, they have different places that they need to fulfill some needs at, and they have to lead on the other side of Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, he hurt.
So
he on IR for like 6 weeks, I think. So I think that's another reason why they went and got him.
Yeah,
though.
that was a reason to me. So
yeah.
I mean, I guess all in all, if you're looking at it player for player, of course, every team that was incorporated in that trade got something positive from it.
Cool. Well, look, man, I appreciate you coming through.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you're going to be through again. Again, people, if you want to bet and make some money, man, go to BetDSI and get promo code Beanie100. If you want to bet and make some money and get paid fast, that's where you go, BetDSI, promo code Beanie100. Thank you guys again for coming on the Beanie and the Boom podcast. Peace out.
Peace.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live, we've got the practice report, we got rapid reaction. Hey, and we got Buck IQ with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.